Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the THW News and Rumors Rundown for the NHL. My name is Jim Parsons. I'm here with the HockeyWriters.com. We've got lots to cover. The regular season is right around the corner. Preseason is done for pretty much everybody. And we're going to go through some of the biggest stories in the NHL, but just a quick reminder, if you want to follow us, you can do so in a couple ways. One, you can go to the Hockey Writer on Twitter. Two, you can go to the HockeyWriters.com and cover all the NHL news and rumors that we write every day. And then you can go to Facebook.com/HockeyWriters or our YouTube page as well. You can check out all these videos and everything we're talking about. Let's get into some of the big stories right now. Obviously, Jack Eichel is still the big story in the NHL. It is not looking good for the Buffalo Sabres and Eichel to figure this out. There are some good signs here, though. Jack Eichel has been told, or at least it sounds like there's some teams that are interested in Jack Eichel based on medical reports that are surfacing and teams that are said to be okay with the fact that they're all right with him getting the surgery that he wants, so the disc replacement instead of the fusion surgery that the Buffalo Sabres would like. And if that's the case, then maybe a team might trade for him, let him heal up, do his surgery, come back 6 months to 8 months later, and then be a part of their long-term plans, not necessarily their short-term plans. It was talked about that maybe the New York Rangers were still in on this. Right now, the Calgary Flames and Anaheim Ducks seem to be the biggest favorites here. The Rangers are out now, though, because Mika Zibanejad, he signed an 8-year deal worth $8.5 million per season on Sunday, so he's going to be their center moving forward here for New York. So don't expect the Rangers to be part of this. I mean, I guess it's technically possible, but it's really not likely at this point. Not enough salary cap for everybody when you got Adam Fox and other guys coming up on deals here too. Speaking of contracts, Alexander Georgiev, the goaltender for the New York Rangers, he denies that he ever asked for a trade out in New York. He says he's okay with the way things are going, that he's all right being a backup. He'll play where the coaches tell him to play. He's on an expiring contract. He's got one more year left. He could still get traded, but he's denying that he even asked for a trade and says he's not sure where the rumors came from, even though he did hear them himself, but he's not the one that started that, he says. Interesting story coming out of Vegas. Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, everybody knows the story about how he got traded to Chicago and didn't find out about it until he read it on Twitter and wasn't told by the Vegas organization, who does claim that they were in contact with both Fleury and his agent, Alan Walsh, about this. They said, look, we did our best, but now George McPhee has said that Kelly McCrimmon did the best job because he's the GM of the Vegas Golden Knights, McPhee the president. He was like, look, Alan Walsh, the agent, actually tried to sabotage this trade. So as we were working on it, trying to get the details done, Walsh was going around to other teams saying that Marc-Andre Fleury was going to retire if he was traded. So he was trying to get the trade to not happen. And so that's why McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon sort of excluded Walsh, and in this case, Marc-Andre Fleury, from those conversations, which is why he didn't find out till afterwards. So it's interesting how they're sort of throwing each other under the bus here. Walsh has not commented since then, at least as of this recording, to deny or confirm that he did in fact call other teams and say, look, if you trade for him, he's going to retire, so don't do it. But we'll see. It's an interesting story coming out of Vegas. More news on Brady Tkachuk and the Ottawa Senators. It's not looking very good at this point. He still hasn't signed. Camp is now over. The Ottawa Senators are apparently prepared to move on without him. Not necessarily long term, but they're still stuck on this. They want 8 years. They've tabled an offer for $64 million. Tkachuk is looking for signing bonuses and other things of that nature, or going short term, which the Senators don't really want to do. He's prepared to hold out for a little while. Senators are prepared to move on without him. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes for Brady Tkachuk to be part of the Ottawa Senators again, if that ever does happen. I don't expect a trade or anything like that, but it should be interesting to see how long it takes for this all to get worked out. A couple little notes of news to go through. Alex Ovechkin was hurt in a preseason game against the Philadelphia Flyers, trying to lay a hit on Travis Konechny. He hurt his leg, it looks like. Lower body injury is what they were calling it. He's right now listed as day-to-day, so we'll see what Alex Ovechkin, how much time he misses. Obviously, the Washington Capitals don't want him to miss any time, but they got to make sure that he's okay before they put him back on the ice. This is a guy that's looking for a pretty major milestone in the all-time goal-scoring record, so any action that he does miss is not great for Ovechkin. It's certainly not great for the Washington Capitals if Ovechkin's going to be out any significant time, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be very long. Some interesting news for Carey Price. Fortunate news, really. He entered the Players Assistance Program for the NHL and the NHLPA voluntarily, which means he's going to miss at least 30 days with the Montreal Canadiens. Sounds like a mental health issue. His wife went on Instagram and talked about the importance of mental health, and the Canadiens are squarely behind making sure that Carey Price gets the help that he needs. This is the second now player in Montreal to do so. Jonathan Drouin did so last season. So we just wish the best for Carey Price. Hope that he's fully recovered when he does eventually come back to hockey. But it looks like he's going to be out for at least 30 days. He could be out longer. We'll see how long that takes to get healed up. And Phil Kessel, there's lots of talk in Arizona that he's probably going to be moved at some point this season. It's probably not going to happen immediately. He's still got a pretty big salary cap, even though he's only paid $1 million per season for the last year of this contract. Arizona knows they're not going to be keeping him long term. He wants a fresh start. He wants a chance to be productive and really play for a team where he can win, or at least earn himself a nice hefty contract when he signs in the offseason. So look for Kessel to get traded. Where that happens, and it'll probably be with a team that's competing at the NHL trade deadline. That's probably when this one will go down. Finally, Morgan Rielly. It sounds like the Toronto Maple Leafs are willing to wait this one out for a little while. Obviously, they do not want to let him walk to free agency. So there's going to be lots of talk all season long about what's going to happen with Rielly and the Maple Leafs, but they aren't prepared to do this now. Rielly knows that he's going to make some good money. He's ready to just wait it out for a little bit. So don't expect the extension to come anytime soon. They will continue to talk about it, but it looks like that's going to be one of those things that happens maybe after the season. We'll see how the season plays out for Toronto. They're obviously in a window to win. They got to get past the first round of the playoffs. Without that, maybe Morgan Rielly's not even a part of the picture after that. So we'll see. Lots of stuff going on. We'll keep you up to date on the NHL news and rumors on the hockeyraiders.com. Check it out. Check out all the other videos. And have a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend, everybody. We hope that you enjoy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.